everybody. I just did my Aerus video yesterday of this in action because I know everybody gets so, um, like, oh, there's no video of the vacuum in action sort of thing. So I just decided to start out with that and just do a quick clip and then do a review later on. So this is my Aerus Luxe Guardian Platinum. I just got this yesterday. I didn't get it new, but I got it very lightly used from a pretty wealthy couple, I would say. The girl and guy have like 2 or 3 kids. And I drove about an hour and a half to go and get it. They were very nice, but they had a bi-level house. I guess that might be what you call it. I call it a bi-level. So when you walk in the door, there are steps right there, like 3 feet away from you. You're pretty much in the landing of the stairs. And it's all carpeted, and they have a big downstairs, and they had a big upstairs with half carpet, half hardwood. And the girl said that it was just too much of a pain to pick up and carry, which I guess I can kind of understand, but it wouldn't bother me. I mean, I'm not old, so. um, anyway, this is very pleasantly surprising to me. I really like this machine. The only thing that's wrong with it is there's a little ding right there, if you can see it. I'm sure you can. It's right there. And the girl said that she accidentally whacked it with the pin thing on the back of the power nozzle to be able to set it in there when you're vacuuming. She said that she didn't even know that you could do that, and she didn't know there was one on the back of the vacuum either until they came to service the power nozzle, and they ended up having to buy a new power nozzle for it, or it was replaced under warranty. I can't quite remember. But she said that she didn't even know what they were. So she was vacuuming in the dark, and the phone rang or something like that, and she went to put it on there, and she whacked it, I guess. So that doesn't bother me any. I think there's a little tiny one down there too, but again, doesn't bother me at all. I actually just took the plastic covering off that Lux, the airport symbol. It is also the 90th anniversary, so this one was probably made in 2014, I would imagine. No earlier than that, so it's only like 3-4 years old. So I want to kind of go over it with you guys. Again, probably only going to be like a 15-minute video because I'm not allowed to post videos, I guess, any longer than 15 minutes. So this is the little, there's a little door right here. For those of you who don't know, I'm not sure about the Sauber Intelligence model, but there's like a little door here that's kind of like a roll top desk that slides up and down to close this off when you are storing it, and then it rolls back up when you don't need to store it. So that's a cool feature about the vacuum. You also have a little handle right here on the back of the vacuum, and then there's also a handle up here on the top of the vacuum. It's got a nice big spot that, I mean, your whole hand can fit in there, and it's cushioned with like a very hard silicone. So it's very nice, easy to carry. If you don't want to carry it, maybe if you're carrying it when the hose is attached, that would be the best place to carry it. And then if you aren't, you're just kind of lugging it around. I tend to take the power nozzle and put it right here on the back of the vacuum, and then carry the whole machine with just that handle, and I can carry the power nozzle and this at the same time. So it works out really good. You have a caster wheel right here on the machine. There's a little bit of scratch right there. There's a swivel caster here on the vacuum. There's that, the power nozzle support thing. I don't remember what you'd call that. A parking spot or a docking station or power nozzle dock. So here is the Hepa filter. This is the final Hepa filter down here. And that just pushes in, easy peasy. And then this is also gasketed right here. This just pops on like that, and there's a button right here to release that. Then you've got your retractable cord there on the side. Here's your blower port. Again, I took the plastic off of this. So the way that this blower port works is it's spring loaded. So even when you open this, there's no air that escapes out from this blower port right here. You have to push the hose into it, and then if this vacuum is running and you push down on this, the air will start blowing out of it. But you don't have to worry about this popping up or anything, because there's no air coming through it unless the hose is in place or you push it down with your finger. So there's the retractable cord, your power switch, and here is your, got a little scratch right there. I mean, it's stainless steel. You've got the power increase and decrease, and then the automatic setting. Filter change, bag full, overheat protection, and then there's the automatic symbol. When it's in the automatic mode, what it does is, excuse me, it puts the vacuum at half suction, I would say, like medium speed. And if you restrict the airflow, like vacuuming couches, or you put it even on your hand, what it will do is it'll turn the suction down. And it said something, I guess, when I watched the actual Aerus video, that the power will increase, I think, as the bag fills, which to me doesn't make sense. But I mean, I feel like that's restricting suction itself, so why wouldn't it slow down? But I guess it just does that for whatever reason. Here is your hose end that plugs into the machine itself. And I wondered how this worked, because when I pulled on it, it came undone, but when I pulled it around the house, it doesn't come undone. Well, it's because when you pull back on this plastic sheath, the plastic piece, it actually releases the tabs. But if you just pull on the hose itself, the hose stays in the machine. The hose doesn't do anything with the tabs. You actually have to pull back on this black collar. You can see the arrow points forward and backwards, because when you pull on this, those tabs move. So that's how it releases from the vacuum. Then there's a little button here. You press it, opens up just like an old style Electrolux. It takes style P, so I believe that just stands for platinum, and you can see it even shows you your HEPA 2 long-term filter, carbon filter, HEPA, and your dust bag. Now look how tiny these dust bags are. They're little sacks. That's what they actually call them, is a filter sack or a bag sack or something. And it got a carpet fiber, it looks like. But this has got quite a bit of dirt in it already, and I've only vacuumed with it twice. Those small bags do not bother me. I actually like a vacuum with a smaller bag, because to me, I feel more, what do you want to call it? I feel like it more satisfied when I can empty it regularly. It does cost a little bit more because the bags aren't very big, and the filters start right here. So pretty much 2/3 of the vacuum is filtration and motor. And then there's a filter here. I'm going to get a replacement. It's not really dirty. It looks dirty, but that's just the camera and the way that it's casting shadows. It doesn't stink or anything like that. They had this serviced, and then they moved. They had it serviced in November. They moved in December, and then when they moved, they got that new house, and she tried it for a week or so, and she didn't like it. So moving to a 2-story house changed her mind about a canister style vacuum. So it doesn't matter how you put the bags in. There's a little tab there and a little tab there, and if you rotate it, the tabs are still going to be in the same spots. But I usually just have the writing and everything facing upwards, and then that just snaps on there like that. The hose on this, everything except for what attaches to the canister is the same as the TriStar. So you can actually attach the TriStar power nozzle and wands and everything to this machine, and you can even attach this to the TriStar. But the hose, the end that plugs into the machine, does not fit the TriStar. It doesn't have the same design. The TriStar has 2 clips here that plug into the vacuum, and the hose opening and the opening to the vacuum itself is actually smaller on the TriStar than it is on this Guardian. So for those of you who are wondering what the difference is, first of all, the TriStar doesn't have anywhere near as much power as this thing does, and I honestly don't really care for the TriStar all that much. It's a cool vacuum for what it is, but all in all, it's not really anything super exciting to me. I'm going to set this down and plug this in really quick. The TriStar to me is underpowered, and that's what kind of pushed me away from considering a Aerus machine again, because I had a Guardian that was extremely loud and I didn't like that. So one thing that I also want to mention, you can detach the hose and just run the vacuum by itself. You don't have to have a hose attached. So if you want to stick it in a room to kind of filter the air, you can do that. I mean, this thing's got really good filtration. And there's also a scent tray over here on this side of the vacuum that you can put like scents in, I think. They make these beads. I don't remember what Aerus calls them, but they're like these scent beads that are lemon scented, and you can use that if you want. So to turn the machine on, you press the power button. So that's the hose that is making the air whooshy sound. But I can set it to automatic, and then it lowers the suction to halfway. So if you can't tell, there's 4 suction settings, but each one will dim down or it'll get brighter depending on if it's on the higher or the lower setting of each of these. So there's 2 settings with this bar, 2 here, 2 there, and 2 there. So it's a total of 8, but technically 9 because automatic is kind of its own speed by itself. So I'm really happy with this power nozzle, though this floor or this carpet tends to make it shrill, though it doesn't really bother me. But it is a little noisier on this carpet than the other carpets. It does a good job. It's exceptionally powerful. You can see it's pulling it in a little bit before it gets there. And it leaves a nice clean path. You do have a air release up here if you want to use that. You don't have to leave it on full suction all the time. Now I'm probably going to make a part 2 of this, so I'm going to cut this short and then do a little bit of talking. So you guys can get like a full benefit of this.